Welcome, beautiful people. I'm your host, Lenny Harold, and you are now listening to Cosmic Radio. What's up, everybody? How are you today? Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Before I started this podcast, I did a questionnaire to my fans, my wonders, and I had asked them if there was any questions. So I am going to touch on one of the topics today, which I think I might actually come back to. Yeah, because I think that this is a loaded question, and this might be a really short episode, but yeah. So the question is, should artists try to get signed? Again, this is a loaded question, and for me, it all depends on what you want. On one hand, a label has money and resources, but on the other, you have your freedom. So for me, I want my freedom. I've been in those scenarios where I felt like I was in a prison. That's another story that I'll probably break down. And so I don't like having to answer to people, especially about my art and creativity. Will I learn from you? Yes, but art is subjective, and so yeah, that's my feeling on it. Understanding that record labels, number one, they are banks for the most part. They're loaning you money and you have to give that money back. And this is, I know I said on a previous cast, there's 100,000 songs being uploaded to Spotify and Tidal and all of these different things every single day. And the record labels are trying to figure out how they stand because it's hard to break new artists now. To give people astronomical deals like this, like they used to do, like $1 million deals and all kinds of other things like that, is a little unheard of. But know with those deals comes a lot of control. And there's a set of people at a round table that are telling you what you can and cannot do. And they want to make sure that they get a return in on their investment, and make even more money off of you. So, and right now with the influx of artists and with so many people having so many different options to choose from, it's hard to break an artist nowadays. So yeah, you have access to the resources and yeah, you have access to the money, but what also happens is that these labels now will sign you to 360 deals, and 360 deals are the things that are kind of dangerous because they take money from like all your income for the most part, or whatever's in that contract. So say if you know, sign a movie deal or something like that, they're getting a percentage of that because they're trying to get your money. They're trying to make that money back. And they know that a lot of times they're not going to make it in sales because the way streaming is, you have to stream so much in order to make those sales. And people are not buying anything physical anymore for the most part. So that's another challenge. And so there are ways to move around that. We learned from the Beyonce model, you know what I mean? From making sure that you have your music accessible from your website. Number two, you should always have a website. That's something to just throw out there. You should always have a website. And your music should always be purchasable from your website, but that's neither here nor there. But when it comes to me, I prefer my freedom. Unless I always say open to the deal. And I think I would probably see, I don't want to tell anybody what to do. And I don't want this, if somebody was looking for a sign on whether or not they should sign or not, I would just say, do what's best for you. But for me, I like my freedom. I don't like I like to make my own deadlines, because I know how my creativity moves. Well, It comes down to what you have the capacity for. You know, if you don't mind all of those things, and because you're looking for, you know, the resources and the finances that, you know, a label can provide, then definitely take that lane. But understand what you're doing it for. You know, if you're just trying to get to fast fame, and understand that now it's a really tedious schedule. They look at you as a machine. No one's going to, for the most part, look at you and be like, oh, your mental health is in question right now. They're going to be like, no, they're trying to make that money back. So understand all of the different things that come with that. And again, there's no HR in the industry. You know, that's what a lot of people are fighting for. There are no benefits and different things like that. There's no place that you can go. There's no human resources that you can go to and be like, oh, I feel like I'm being pushed too hard from my boss. No, 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 no. So understand all of those things that you're getting into it just to be your creative self and to share your creations. So again, for me, I like the freedom. Because I have been signed. Have I been signed to major labels? No. Do I know all of what it takes? Because these labels are essentially moving like major labels? Yes. Um, so yeah, it's a tough one. Um, and I think these are things to question yourself about before you actually make that move. And then if you do sign, make sure that you have a really, really awesome lawyer. Look through your contracts. And that's even on an indie level. Look through your contracts. If anybody presents you with a contract, look through it, comb through that bitch as if you were looking for lice. Okay. I am telling you, this is very important for the success that you'll have later on. And you want to know the business side of what's going on with you and your music. You know, the other benefit of being independent is that you always have your masters and you're in control of the decisions that you are able to handle and that you want to do. um, and there's nobody to question that. There's nobody to say, no, I don't think you should do this, or you know, underhandedly take it off the table because they need you to be on tour or something like that, that you miss a big movie opportunity or something like that because so much money has already gone into a tour. All these little things, there's all these little things that need to be put into consideration when deciding whether or not you want to sign with a label or stay independent. And there's ways to get money being independent. Um, there's investors, there's loans that you can do and all kinds of different things like that. Business loans, if you are a an LLC, which I would suggest that you do as an artist, just so that you have your business stuff all taken care of. You know, there are business loans that you can do because you are a business, you are driving income, you are bringing in something. Um, but that's when it gets to that level. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the way I would answer that question: is do what's comfortable for you, but weigh out all of it. Don't just make a quick decision. What I always say, as of late now, coming this year, actually started last year when I started saying, make sure you take the time to have a slow yes and or a slow no. You want to put some thought behind every answer you give. So yeah, that's the way I would do that. So thank you for that question. Again, I think I might ask some of my guests on here whether or not um, what would they do? What would they consider? Either being signed or, and by the end of this particular season, I'll take a poll and see who wants to be signed and who would rather stay independent. That might be some telling information. So we'll take it from there. Again, thank you for tuning in. Um, like, follow, subscribe, share. You know, we trying to grow this community and whatnot and stuff like that and everything. So yes, until next time, you already know Move in love, share your light, and be on purpose. Now go out and hug somebody.